Hey everyone, it's Explosive Robotics here, and this is my review video for the Battle in the Burbs MRCA event from September 20th, 2025. It was the only event we participated in 2025, and our bot's performances could have been better. This video is obviously a bit late because this was the only time I was able to edit it, but I'm gonna try to recap what I remember, and I hope you can enjoy the video anyway. I'll start by going over what changed with our bots, which really wasn't much. Hellspear now used aluminum spacers between the motor and the top plate. We made this change because the plastic spacers would melt and cause the motor to come loose and vibrate, which made the bot hard to control like you saw in the last video. The blade you see on the bot right now is also a new design I made in an attempt to create a blade with a high moment of inertia, but it might not actually be a good design because it's shorter than all the other blades. In fact, I probably won't use this blade after this event because it can't reach as far. It just seems kind of useless. Kingslayer stayed exactly the same, and Total Chaos also didn't change aside from switching to the open class configuration. This event was held outside, so my footage was not great because the sun was reflecting on the side of the arena. The first fight was Hellspear versus Belladonna. This bot is the only Fireball Robotics bot that I've managed to beat before, but I didn't have the same luck this time around. This fight was very close and very fun to watch. I think Belladonna was landing most of the hits, but every so often Hellspear would get back into the fight by sending them flying across the box. Hellspear spent a lot of time being unstable, but they were able to do some damage to the back of Belladonna. In the end, the judges voted for Belladonna, and it's not hard to see why. They were the one controlling that fight. The good news was, I don't think Hellspear took any significant damage in that fight, so they were ready for their next fight. Up next was Kingslayer versus the Nilebot, and I'll just show you this.
That weapon does not look happy on Nilebot. That is a tap out.
The Nilebot's weapon fell off and they surrendered. Kingslayer destroyed them in one hit. Total Chaos's first fight was against Hypernova, a bot with a huge horizontal spinner. Total Chaos started this fight with their signature move of hitting the wall. Hypernova hit their side and did serious damage, but Total Chaos wasn't out just yet. They could barely move towards Hypernova, who was having trouble moving themselves. The bot spent a lot of time doing nothing, but eventually there was this hit, and then Total Chaos got stuck in the wall. After getting unstuck, Total Chaos was completely immobile, and they got counted out. Time for round 2. Hellspear was up against Lawnmower of Chaos. I forgot whose weapon could reach further. I think even with their longest blade, Hellspear was still at a disadvantage. But reach wasn't the main issue here. What mattered most was Hellspear's exposed wheels being easy targets for Lawnmower of Chaos. I think the first few hits made Hellspear unstable because they were spinning out of control, which made it even harder to protect their wheels. And then one fell off. At this point, Hellspear could only flop around and use their blade to keep them moving. And eventually, they got stuck in a corner and got counted out.
Why isn't my wheel even spinning?
9, 10.
That is a knockout.
Kingslayer's second fight was against Hypernova. It didn't last long at all. Hypernova quickly flipped over and couldn't do anything but spin in circles, which wasn't enough movement to stay in the fight. Though, judging by this video, it looks like Kingslayer suffered damage to their weapon. I don't remember what went wrong, but we were able to fix it for their next fight. Total Chaos was supposed to fight the Nilebot in round 2, but the Nilebot had to forfeit because of the damage from their last fight, and Total Chaos was awarded the win. So not only did Kingslayer knock the Nilebot out in a single hit, they took them out of the competition entirely. And this is the reason why we like to say that Kingslayer won 2 fights with 1 hit. And now, we start the third round with Hellspear versus Josh. Now, let me tell you about Josh. I fought them with Cheddar Luck next time in the 3rd place match in the last event, and the fact that they made it that far into the competition meant I had a lot of respect for them. And this time around, the fight went like this.
Alright, Hellspear, what can you do?
That.
You can hit harder than that, come on.
Okay, how was that? Okay, that's a tap.
Well, at least Hellspear accomplished something today. Meanwhile, Kingslayer was up against a bot called Bioluminescent, who went into this fight with a drive issue. Kingslayer's usual non-aggressive strategy didn't work too well for them. They had to be fast and get to the sides. Actually, they wouldn't be able to do much because Bioluminescent had armored wheels, but they mainly just had to avoid the vertical spinner. Eventually, there was this big hit which flipped Bioluminescent over. Kingslayer went after their weapon, and they tapped out.
Destroy his weapon!
The Kingslayer is able to take any shot he wants at this point.
Back up.
The drive's not feeling too happy.
That is a tap out.
Now, up next, we have an interesting fight. Total Chaos versus an extremely powerful vertical spinner, appropriately named Atomic Detonation. Before this fight happened, I repeatedly antagonized Driver 5 by telling her her precious Total Chaos was going to be destroyed, and there was nothing she would be able to do about it. But Driver 5 said, "Not if I have anything to do about it," and got stuck as soon as the fight started.
Fight. Both weapons are up to speed.
Is anyone surprised? Is anyone even surprised? Well, hey, look at it this way. You're not going to take any damage. Hit your weapon.
Atomic detonation.
Down and up again. Down and up again.
This was either the best or worst way this fight could have gone, depending on if you thought Total Chaos was going to win. They took no damage and did nothing to their opponent. It's as if they just forfeited the fight. In round 4, there were only 2 fights because Total Chaos and Hellspear were fighting each other. Right away, Hellspear was moving a bit too much, and Total Chaos wasn't moving enough. They must have gotten stuck on the floor, which let me rip off their wheel. Then I landed this hit, which threw us apart and got Total Chaos stuck in the wall. After they got unstuck, things got interesting. Total Chaos only had 1 wheel, so I thought it'd be easy to destroy what was left of them. But then, most of Hellspear's drive system stopped working. They could only move backwards from the vibrations from their weapon. I thought I was going to get counted out. Total Chaos was still showing enough movement, and Hellspear kept getting stuck against the walls. But whenever I couldn't move, one of my wheels would spin again, and I'd be able to go in a different direction. Eventually, the 2 bots met again, hit each other, and both of them got stuck in the wall. The rules say that if a bot gets stuck in the arena, they can be freed 1 time. This was Hellspear's first time getting stuck, so they were removed from the wall, but Total Chaos had already been freed in this fight, so now they had 10 seconds to get out of the wall before they'd lose. And since the fight was already paused, Driver 5 and Total Chaos decided to just take the loss instead of trying to get free. Does this mean I'm the best bot builder on my team? I beat Kingslayer, I beat Total Chaos with Cheddar, and now I beat Total Chaos with Hellspear. I might not be the best though. Kingslayer is the one who consistently gets 3 wins, and they're going to get a chance to go 4-0 in their fight against Skunk Ape. This was another well-armored vertical spinner who proved to be a bit overwhelming for Kingslayer. They got flipped over, and Kingslayer had an opportunity to attack their weapon system, but apparently that weapon can still be dangerous when it spins downward because it broke Kingslayer's weapon. Fortunately, one of their wedges was bent, so Kingslayer had a chance to control them, but they weren't able to do much. The judge's decision went to Skunk Ape. Kingslayer was the only bot with enough wins to make it into the bracket. Their opponent was a drum spinner called Titus, who barely gave them enough time to get going in the beginning. Within 7 seconds, Kingslayer's right wheel was disabled.
Is Titus's weapon down or is he conserving it?
He was conserving it.
Big shot!
For a bot with 1 walking wheel, Kingslayer wasn't doing that bad. Driver 3 figured out how to move around by shutting his weapon off at the right time. Kingslayer did some damage to the side of Titus, but at the end of the fight, they started slowing down and eventually lost all control. I think their battery died. So now all our bots are out, but we still have time for grudge matches, starting with Slam versus Hellspear. This fight wasn't too exciting. There were some big hits in the beginning, but the rest of the fight was just Slam driving upside down into Hellspear's weapon. There wasn't really anything else worth mentioning. This fight went the distance, where the audience would choose the winner, and they voted for Hellspear. Although I won this fight, it wasn't nearly as enjoyable as when I fought Slam at Riverside Robot Rumble in 2024. There was this bot called Clean Your Clock that was literally built like a clock. It had a small undercutter and alarm bells that would ring during fights. I think they won the award for best design, but they weren't a very competitive bot. They went 1-3 with a win against Josh. Driver 5 requested to fight them with Total Chaos, with the agreement that if she won, she'd get to know how the bot worked.
So you'll never tell her.
Drivers, are you ready?
When the fight started, Total Chaos was quick to rip the bells off. Clean Your Clock didn't have a great offense, but they were surprisingly durable. They survived multiple shots from Total Chaos before they got stuck in the arena. So far, the wall was a bigger threat to Total Chaos than their opponent was. After the unstick, Total Chaos landed a few more hits, got the clock stuck at one point, but didn't do much damage. Then they got stuck in the wall a second time.
10, 9, 10.
Total Chaos is stuck again.
This is the most total chaos way to lose a fight.
5, 4.
Come on,
3,
come on.
2,
Can the Toad
one.
get out?
That's
Not so much.
You lost to a clock.
Proving that a broken clock is.
So now Total Chaos has lost 2 fights from getting stuck in the wall twice. I'm never gonna let Driver 5 live this down, though I think the real lesson here is that arena walls should not be made out of wood. The final grudge fight was between Total Chaos, Bioluminescent, and Atomic Detonation. I'm not even gonna do a voiceover for this chaotic fight. It's better if I just show you the whole thing.
2 vertical spinners, 1 horizontal spinner, atomic detonation immediately. Yeah, Bioluminescent is a functional robot at this point, apparently. 3/4.
I'm in the wall.
3/4 means it's 3 times as deadly.
Thank you.
One might wonder where this ferocity was about 2 hours ago.
Hit him.
It's got a battery.
That is a battery. All right, let's resume. 3, 2. Okay, we're starting. Go, 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 go. Spin up. Total Chaos, you've got the choice of wherever you want to hit him, and you go directly into the weapon, huh? Why don't you go for the side, go for the back?
Chaos.
Chaos!
Don't hit there.
Hit there!
Hit it harder. That's where
Hit the weapon from behind! Push it around! Stick the wire! Stick the wire!
Don't hit there, please.
Well, now you're right side up.
Get him again! You killed him! Drive side!
9, 8,
7, 6, 5. He's not tapping! Hit him! Hit him!
Can't.
Brian's not tapping! Oh, no weapon! And that is it! Congratulations, Total Chaos!
Another award they had was the What Award, which was given to the bot who did, I guess, the funniest or most confusing thing during the competition, and that was given to Total Chaos because of that moment when they knocked themselves out in one hit. The final results looked like this. Honestly, they're not that impressive. These are pretty much the same results we always get when we go to these events. There was no improvement. And what's even worse, Hellspear might have had the worst performance out of all 3 of them. Kingslayer made the bracket. Total Chaos, despite its terrible performance in the main tournament, at least entertained us in the end. We were laughing with them, while we were laughing at Hellspear, who barely made it out with 2 wins and did nothing impressive. But of course, we can't expect to get different results when the bots are the same every time we compete. Let's be honest, Hellspear's design isn't perfect. The blades still caused some control issues at this event, even if they weren't as bad as the problems in 2024. Hellspear's glory days are over, and if I want them to do any better, I'm gonna have to change them, which is why I'm taking a break from the undercutter design. Hellspear will compete as a mid-cutter in the next event in April of 2026. Until then, I'll be perfecting my design, and I hope you'll keep watching my channel during that time too. The full fights are on Explosive Robotics Plus, linked in the description. Thanks for watching.